Now, everybody, my name is Christian, and welcome back to Skycast. And we have multiple days of severe storms that are already supposed to be happening. We're going to go ahead and get to day one, where today we do have an enhanced risk of severe weather through a rare portion of the United States, the New England states. This does include areas of eastern New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Massachusetts. Then you can also see we have that slight risk stretching all the way from Maine down into portions of eastern Kentucky, and then that marginal risk including the whole state of Kentucky on down into Tennessee and Arkansas. We also have another area of concern back here towards Montana and into North Dakota. Now, as we're looking for the tornado threat today, tornado threat is extremely elevated for the area that we are seeing, like I highlighted a few minutes ago. Very rare area for there to be seeing tornado levels like this. Is not a hatched risk, but we do have that ability to see multiple tornadoes touch down in the area today. And one thing about this is that those states are very small, very populated areas. You can see on there all those black dots being populous areas. So that kind of goes to show what we're seeing for that. Wind 30%, so going to see that possibility of 65, 70 miles an hour, or even 80 miles an hour in some places. And then hail is going to be that 5% on down with the slight. Over here towards the Montana, North Dakota risk, though, you're not going to have that tornado threat, so very low end tornado threat not being highlighted on here. But that main threat is going to be that wind, once again, 60, 70 miles an hour, and then that hail, possibly 1.5 to 2 inches in diameter. And as we scroll down, scattered damaging winds and a few tornadoes are likely parts of the Northeast and New England, with additional severe storms expected across the Ohio Valley, Mid-Atlantic, and as well into the northern high plains. And you can pause to read the synopsis for this if you would like. Now, as we do get into what we have started seeing, we do have a 80% likely wash issuance through portions of the area that we're seeing for this enhanced risk. And if we kind of scroll through that, a tornado watch is likely by early afternoon. And we do have that possibility to see some tornadoes, a few strong. This instability combined with a favorable supercell wind environment should result in severe storms. Some hail is possible with that, but a greater threat is expected to be damaging winds and a few tornadoes. So that's all that's being highlighted by the National Weather Service here. Now, as we are looking at the NAM 3K to kind of show, by about 1 o'clock, storms will be moving through the risk area. This is for Eastern Standard Time. That'll be moving through the initial portion of the risk area, but these are going to gain strength by 2, 3 o'clock, and you will have some of that ability to see some of these discrete storms beginning to pop up here. You can see like the HRRR zooming in. South of Rutland, some of these discrete storms, and that not only will that bring that damaging wind threat, but also discrete storms are better built for that tornado threat. By 4 or 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, this will continue to move off to the east. By 6 o'clock, this kind of congeals into two separate lines. The front line being, I'm likely going to say, more stronger, and then that back side going to be a little bit weaker with that. And then by 7, 8 o'clock, that will move out of the tornado threat zone. And then you still will have possibility to see rounds of showers throughout the afternoon that could still latch on to that instability and be somewhat severe, but you're not looking at a major event for that. Now, one thing about this is that this 2% tornado threat stretches all the way down into portions of West Virginia and Ohio. It's going to be very much for scattered severe storms. You can see kind of this line of storms through that 2%. This is going to be for that Ohio, West Virginia, Pennsylvania area. These will have a possibility for a damaging wind, maybe a little bit of a hail threat, but overall not going to be too wildly of concern. Main threat will be that wind, and then as well as that, if we change over to the categorical, we do have that slight risk stretching all the way back into portions of Kentucky into Tennessee, where once again the scattered severe storms are possible through portions of this area. As we get into Monday now, we do have this possibility of severe storms, so with this slight risk stretching through portions of Minnesota and portions of Wisconsin. Wisconsin already being hitting by last night's storm that we were streaming. And then this marginal risk stretching through portions of the high plains all the way back over. Tornado threat once again for this relatively limited, but we still have that 15% wind, that 15% significant hail, possibility of seeing wind gusts of excess of 65 knots, and then 2 inches in diameter hail events. Severe storms possible parts of the northern and central Great Plains into the upper Mississippi Valley and Great Lakes. Isolated severe storms are possible with this, and then you can pause to read the synopsis here, fairly long. We do have that 15% probability of there to be some severe storms through this area. So overall, very low in threat for here today as well. If we come down to portions of the summary, the severe storms are possible from the Midwest and the Great Lakes on Tuesday. Not really much being highlighted on that, to be honest. And then all threats possible. Yeah, and then we have the synopsis here, which you can pause once again to read that. Now, one thing that we are also watching is the tropics, and we do have, if we zoom out, we do have this area in portions of the western Gulf of Mexico towards portions of Mexico, actually, where we do have this over 40% chance of development. And you can see with this very strong rains in this, and what that's kind of goes to show, but when that kind of gets into the ingredients, you can see how we kind of look at a little bit of that spin there. That's what we're looking at for that tropical development. Even if this doesn't wind up getting into tropical development, this will make a landfall towards portions of eastern Mexico right through this area, and that will bring some heavy rains through this area and will have that flooding concern area. So just another area that we are watching. If we do zoom back out, though, we don't have any other areas of concern, just this one for the tropical areas that we are watching. So besides that, that's all I have for you guys today. If you're in any of the risk zones, make sure you're being weather aware and you're staying safe. We will be live today. I'm not exactly sure what time, but I'm going to get it set up for around 3:15 Eastern Standard Time if this does wind up becoming a big threat that we are watching. So stay safe. Have a great day. Thank you for choosing Skycast as your go-to weather, and I will see you guys in the next one.